Coffee, I forgot everything inside, so I ran it and got.
Yeah, I'm so glad it's Fridays. Can I just tell you, this week has been like.
I usually don't start my work day until about 9, so I gotta get the kids off. The second early morning this week, I'm sorry, it's fine, it works great, but, and it gives my mom spends the night getting the kids off, which she loves.
How was your event?
It was great, we didn't meet our goal, but I felt like I really had my finger on the pulse, so we came in exactly where I thought we were gonna come in. So like
your stress.
my stress is better for a lot of other reasons, I think, but you know, I feel like, yeah, the last month has been good. We have, you know, we're way behind where we need to be revenue wise here. And so that stress is still here, but for some reason I'm managing it better.
Next week or the week after, when you have like, and have coffee and just kind of debrief, kind of like what your experience has been, why you think giving it. I'm wondering if that's.
I was at a group pulled together for the community foundation. Everyone, like, it was so reaffirming because everyone's like, oh, sponsors are giving less or not at all. Grants are pivoting and like going back to pre-COVID.
I feel like there's definitely been a
increase that people are just nervous. This year's, you know, there's a lot. No, I didn't. Have a lot of people are like, we love what you do. And they're like, oh, sorry.
Like a PowerPoint.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem, and I will be here.
I have it on my computer because I was working on it last night.
Okay,
It's
still at home?
No, I have it right here.
Oh.
She said if I could bring a computer or a thumb drive.
Somebody.
I can, do you have anything? This week has been crazy. So I got home last night from my office without a thumb drive. So I was working on it on my computer.
And you're probably wondering if he has a thumb drive.
That's true.
Let me look in my bag of tricks, see if I have one stashed away.
Oh, thank you. Good to share the first time one. First time sharing a baby. Friday the 13th. I love the 13th. I like the number. No, this is gonna happen today.
I can ask.
So it's almost the same number.
I like to be prepared and I just.
Anybody have a thumb drive by chance, Sandy? I mean, everybody should have. A thumb drive.
I've got one in my wallet. I'll check my car, but I don't, I'll just tip. There you go. Hopefully, there you go. No, we have to do a waiver. We're just trying to get rid of the.
But it could also just plug my computer into my part and then.
How many people last year? 5 people. Zoom. Yeah, sharing it.
Oh. Okay, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So what we can do is your screen isn't really that big.
Oh, that's trouble right there.
I mean, well, we got Zoom. We don't have people.
What's that?
No, but
Oh. Graduation from.
Thank you. I asked them for all the reporting and everything. No, I love to.
We should set up.
For now, you can always get it back. You can always get it back.
But it's gotta feel good, huh?
Yeah, it does.
And have it, a lot more parking than I thought.
Well, we're on the other side.
Do you have your phone?
Chris's check. And see.
You know,
I was gonna have beer. You know,
You have it all, you have, you have it all.
So,
Yeah.
a little memory drawing here.
Have it
Oh, yeah.
What I'll do is I'll pull the monitor out. And plug it in your computer, and then I'll just turn the camera so the screen.
I thought I had this one.
I feel like that's all I do.
We got it.
Problem solver, I love it.
Okay.
Such a basket.
Boy, we're really spread out today, folks.
Oh, if you bring the items in, we're gonna do.
Yeah, secret shops.
We're gonna do. Yeah, after our meeting for an hour, we can only stay there for an hour. So.
When do you need that?
As soon as possible. I still need to figure out my own prices.
No.
You know what? Go on.
Yeah, when anymore. Yeah.
Do not bring them to me on November 10th. Because your mom's.
Oh, no, before November. But,
That's really expensive.
Okay, I just need to.
Those for like 25.
You're living there.
Don't be bratty.
All right,
Okay, we're gonna leave your head. Whatever.
let's get our meeting started. Oh, we need to pick a sergeant at arms here.
Anthony's good.
Anthony's good. I nominate Anthony.
All right, Anthony. Except for Gary, Gary, you were going to get the four-way test thing, so.
Oh.
But, you know, I think we probably, between everybody here, I think we could probably remember these things.
I saw a Rotary keynote this week and he said at their club, their four-way test is it fun? Will anybody get hurt? Will anybody find out about it?
Yes, yes, yeah. All right, and, okay, so we'll have to make do with this flag too,
Yeah,
so
that's
let's start with that. I pledge
Pledge
allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, four-way test. Is it fun? Is it fun? All right,
First, is it true?
second,
Is it better all third? Will it give a better friendship?
fourth,
Sure.
And five, is it fun?
is it fun? And
Six,
six,
we're gonna find out.
boy, I'm so glad that we have a collective memory. All righty, inspirational comments time.
The quote for today is, we cannot become what we want by remaining what we are.
Good point.
We cannot become what we want by remaining what we are.
That makes it an assumption that if we want to become something, that we're not already something. Because if you already what you want.
I think it's more about, there's always. Exactly. I
Thank
think it's
you.
more
I don't know
about.
what need to be said about that.
I think that's.
Sorry.
All right, as far as guests, or visitors, I should say, other than Joyce, we're so glad to see you. You are the guest, but we miss you.
I really missed it, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been on vacation.
Oh. Yeah,
Good to be here.
yeah. All right, we do have our special guest. This is Megan Wolf, she is our presenter today. She's with Girls on the Run. Wasn't there a band on the run? I keep thinking of that. Okay, we actually don't have any birthdays, anniversaries, or Rotary anniversaries to announce this week. We all caught up on that, so that's sad, but reality of it. Yeah, as far as regular announcements, first I wanted to point out that everybody should have a ticket And I got to thinking that we have a pot from our previous raffle, and we're not gonna do any more raffles because we're no longer a gambling organization. But we're gonna hand out tickets as a door prize for no cost until somebody wins the pot. And there's no need to hand out 3 tickets and make life busier, because the odds are the same whether you have 3 times as many tickets out and you have 3. So just 1 ticket, and we'll just do it like normal, and you still have to, you'll get your duck, and you can still get $5 if you don't get the big number, but you can win the whole pot, and when the pot's gone, it's gone. So figured that'd be a good way to get rid of that money, and obviously you can give your donations back, but it's up to you. One thing that has come up this week was we had made a commitment to sponsor through the Snohomish County Yes program, a project where we would be delivering to 75 families in a small village in Guatemala. Basically a package including wood burning stoves and water filters. And that whole process got delayed by COVID. Actually, Bev Harrington, who was a previous district governor, had pushed this apparently 3 or 4 years ago, and actually was going through the process of getting commitments from the clubs, and actually 9 clubs here in Snohomish County, all committed, including us. So she had $9,000 of commitments, and then she was able to get a matching grant from Rotary International, and that's all finally come through. So it's kind of a surprise to many of us, just because it's been such a long time, but it seems like a very good program. Wood burning stoves are interesting, but I think that is supposed to be cooking stoves, which probably is a lot more efficient way to heat your food than just building a fire somewhere and holding a pan over it. So it's probably a pretty good idea. And water filters are obvious. Everybody should have one of those that doesn't have access to municipal water. And then another thing that we've decided is that on the meeting, or after the meeting on the 27th of October, we're going to have a basket wrapping. It's not really wrapping, but a basket party here in this room for the hour after the meeting. Attendance is voluntary, but we'll have at least a few volunteers that can stick around. So we really want to get all of our baskets here by then, because what we're going to try to do is have a consistent approach to basically presenting these baskets. We're not going to wrap them in the clear plastic like we have in the past. We decided there's really no need for that. So if we get everything here, then we'll have the ability to make them all look somewhat the same. And then we will store them, and then they'll be ready for our big event on the 11th. So please do your best. The ones that are already here will, of course, be brought over and improved if needed, or maybe some of our volunteers can go to Brian's. It might be easier just to check on those. But I think that'll make it look good to have baskets that are kind of, sometimes you have like little filler material. If it was all the same, then probably by then we'll have a theme, and we might have a color that, is something we want. And so I think it's probably a good idea to do that.
So what day are we staying over?
The 27th.
27th.
Yeah.
Just to real quick, we have black, brown tablecloths, and then there's a royal blue satin, really pretty shiny square overlay for the main tables. And then does anybody know if we have any black square tablecloths? Square. Rectangle.
We have some.
Will you borrow some of the black ones? Okay, and then we have royal blue square, rectangle.
Rectangle.
Yeah, that's
Not
what I
my
meant,
shape.
Chris. Sorry.
Yes, so we've got royal blue and black rectangle for the two auctions. And then the black and royal blue for the tables themselves. And
Okay.
then we've got flowers being figured out. So,
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We had a great fireside on Tuesday. And thanks to everybody that came. It looked like we all had a fun time. It was at Rustic Court. So I'm hoping we can have more of those. Winter coming on, it was kind of nice to be inside, even though there wasn't a handy fire. Maybe we can bring a little like fire pit of our own. We can just set it on the table. You know, they have those little alcohol fed ones. No, I don't think we can do that.
Not if we want to be invited back.
Yeah. All right. Let's do our reports, starting with Jack.
Nothing really new to report, unfortunately. Fully spaced could have checked on the demo, see who all has spaced into forms. I know some people have. But then, last week, they extended tax, got a little distracted. But on a other note here, I'm looking up to take the stoves, these guys are handing out, and they're built in Guatemala. And they're energy efficient wood fuel. So, pretty interesting, actually. Anyway.
Well, that's a good. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're probably having to scour for firewood or
Yeah.
fire sticks. Is probably a lot of it. And
They're built locally, which is kind of for them anyway. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Gary?
I have a couple of letters I'm gonna send around that are thank you notes. One is from IPA thanking us for the $1,000 donation for the flood relief. And then from the senior center, I'll send those around. You can look at them. Next board meeting is on first Tuesday of the month, November 7th, which is also election day. So go out, vote, and then come to the meeting or vote prior to that. We have two new members that have been approved by the board this week. Daniel Volker, sponsored by Eileen, is a property manager, real estate company in Marysville. And then Debbie France is coming back to our club. She's going to continue with her other club like Bob Howe is doing, which always makes it fun filling out the application, because I have to tell club runner, don't show it to Rotary International. This is the way Sean Hogan did when he joined two clubs up in Canada, and that's how Bob is doing it right now too. So two new members. Debbie's got to get me some information before I input her into the system, but other than that, we're good to go. Foundation dinner is on November 18th at the Bellingham Golf and Country Club, and the cost is $80. Free Pets is on, for Ron is on December 6th at the Silver Reef Casino Resort from 9 to 3, which is a lot of the sessions that they're starting to do are now one day instead of a 3-day weekend type thing. And then the former 3-day Leadership Institute has been revamped into a 1-day session that is facilitated, interactive, and fun. They must have adopted that from our club. It's on October 28th at the Rotary Field House in Surrey, BC. And the session runs from 8:30 to 4:30, and the cost is $65. And it's paid this month. That's it. I didn't want to take too much time away from the speaker, so.
Yeah. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Eileen?
Thank you all who came to the fireside. We had like 16 people, so
Yeah.
it was really nice, and I was there for a couple hours and then but others stayed longer. So for those who came, thank you. We're just in full forks and kegs mode. We sold a couple more tickets, but we're still low. So if you are a sponsor and you have tickets to the event, well, I know you were a sponsor. And if you don't have people to fill those seats, let me know and I can get those seats filled. Because we really need, for us to really make our goal, we really need butts and seats. And I know a lot of people aren't going to be there, so, we really need a full house. Other than that, like Dawn had announced, next week, we're gonna do, or the 27th, we're gonna do kind of a basket put together thing. I sent out the form again for those who have the forms. There is a packet, there is a basket at Brian's office that doesn't have a form. And it's got like whiskey and games and it's completely wrapped. And I know. No, what is there?
That's mine.
Is it dark? Like everything is kind of a dark brown.
So there should be, wooden bill whiskey.
I don't remember. I just know there was whiskey and I know there was like a Jacob game, some sort of
Oh,
game.
no, not Jacob.
It was like, is there a game? Did you have a game or something in the box?
It's a smoking.
That might be it.
I will send that.
I don't have that, because I have the form for the Kate Spade bag, and I have the form. Did you do, oh, no, that's Christine. So maybe that's yours, because that's the only thing that I'm missing. Everybody else has been really good about getting, their forms in. And then if you have, reached out to a sponsor and they've confirmed that they've paid, I don't think that his grocery outlet paid.
Now I've got to go over and, put them on Square.
Okay, if you could do that sooner than later and let me know, so that I can sell the sponsorship in Greater Giving, that would be really helpful, and I know you're.
I just have to do that this week.
Okay, and I think that's the only two that and the other gentleman, are the only two that I'm missing. Everything's updated in Greater Giving, so we're just, I think on November 7th, I'll get the card readers, and they only sent me two because of the size of our event. And then I asked them to send the adapters too, to make sure that, and just in case we have all of our things covered. First Financial Request is going to provide some additional auction help, which is great. I haven't heard back from them, but Steve did send me a dated email saying that they did, so that's super helpful. So, for those of you who have sponsorships, and you please get the names of the people to me so I can enter them in to the system, because it makes it a lot easier when people are checking it that night. I think that's all I've got. And then just do your baskets.
First Financial is at, the VIP event, right, Anthony?
Yeah, they were there.
And they really did a great job. There was about 5 or 6 of them there.
Oh, that's great.
And Rand, did you ever get that figured out between you and Jeff?
No, because I have to do an audit, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give you another $1,000. And when I find the first $1,000, it'll go towards next year. How's that? However you want to. I'll also bring you that Chicago football helmet. For the Chicago basket, and I have another basket that I spring on the 27th, if that's it. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, just like the IRS, we'll take their money better.
And if anybody has any questions, let me know. And I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record. We're just trying to move things along. So thank you for your patience.
One thing on the topic of help, also, Kathleen Olson, who is our district assistant governor, and her husband have said that they're willing to help out too. Yeah, and they plan to attend our event, so maybe they could be like one of the or two of the runners. Would probably make sense.
Something, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that First Financial knows how to do Greater Giving, so I would prefer to have them because they're pretty proficient.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to suggest that we have somebody that would be, new to Greater Giving on the front desk, so.
And then who's doing, are we putting together a program? Like for the night of, Miranda, are we using, did we decide we were gonna use your big screen?
No, so we're doing a big show down in San Diego that weekend, and the client actually put in a request form, so they're just they're
Okay.
no longer available.
Okay, so I
Sorry.
wasn't sure where we were at on that. So I don't know,
we can, as a fallback, we can do what we did last year, just go buy a 75-inch TV. Unless somebody comes up with a better idea. And the only better idea I can think of is if there's a graceful way to have a screen there and still meet the requirements for driving no nails, so to speak. And I don't want like a screen, a portable screen. I'm
well,
almost,
there's a table that we could put a big TV on.
well, the TV, yeah, like that, but I'm thinking, we could also do a PowerPoint projector. And I've got one and I'm,
If you have a standalone screen, that would work, but you can't put anything else in
I was thinking of the big doors that are, right in the center. That is where we talked about having the auction there. Maybe the doors, we could do something with strings that would hold
I think yeah, we can talk about it.
So you can get those wreath, Christmas wreath things, they cup on the top of the door and they hang down with a hook.
yeah, that's right.
Or
So,
have strong ones.
why don't we just kind of keep that in the back of our mind? If anybody has any ideas for,
Is there somebody that's gonna do the PowerPoint that has like?
oh, yeah, I did it last
Okay,
year.
good, that's what I wanna know.
With Rand's help, I could work on that this year too, but one of the things that we need to do too is to come up with a PowerPoint theme for our live auction. The sponsors rotating is one thing. We'll probably have a pictures type thing too.
Well, we only have 3 items so far.
Yeah, well, we'll have.
And then, there was something else too.
Lots of fun, needs a.
Yeah, thank you, fund to cost.
Right.
I know what you meant though, thank you for bringing that up. Have we decided, we need to decide,
Yeah.
Can we decide now?
well, there was talk about working with the city about paying for some all-inclusive, apparatus, playground equipment. But we haven't, Rochelle was gonna talk to the city, and then Brett suggested, I forget the name of the school, and then I tried to get a hold of the gal, and I haven't had any luck, and I've been kind of busy this week too, so I apologize. I think that we should make that for our next year fund a cause, because then we'll have time to research it and really vet it out before committing to something that I don't really know what the cost of it's going to be.
Mhm.
And just choose, like, I love bridge receiving, choose a nonprofit that benefits our community and call it good, because we're running out of time.
We're running out.
And then, but we can make that a priority for next year. Because I know.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I like the idea of being able to have some visuals, to show something that's kind of planned out.
Exactly, and I feel like committing to something that we don't know what the cost is going to be or where it's going to go, even if it's feasible, we're just short on time.
Yeah,
And I could reach out to Tracy and see if she'd be willing to come and speak about bridge at our event. She's a wonderful speaker and, that would be my vote.
can we make a decision to have the decision made after next week's meeting? Last meeting, I basically told everybody that this is last reach out, for ideas. We don't have a big attendance
Okay,
today,
that's fine.
and I'm just thinking that, but we do need to set a deadline to make the decision. So why don't we just say after meeting next week?
Okay, that's fine.
And
We can send an email out and ask for, say that we're gonna make a decision, and if anybody has any ideas.
And I have one individual in mind that will be attending, or one couple in mind, that may be also willing to do we'll call it a starter bid for the fund to cost. That
Oh,
is up there.
Plan.
But I was thinking, well, we should maybe ask them if they have any ideas too.
Yeah, because we need to let Paul know what level we need to start at.
Yeah,
He's
Okay.
very adamant about bringing that up sometimes. Or we can find girls on the run.
well, and that's why I'm suggesting after the meeting next week. We've
Okay,
got a
I'm
couple
with that. I
causes
just don't want to wait
to
till
add
the
to the
11th
list.
hour.
The good news is that, some things like PowerPoints are, they're easy to
I think it
wrestle
would
out
be
in the last
important
week.
to don't wait until the 11th hour.
No, but the last week.
Yeah.
Angie is still scarred. But
We're not doing Coin Quest.
I think if we can get somebody there to, PowerPoint's great, but if you can get somebody there to speak about the work that they, whatever we
Yeah.
choose, can speak about the work that they do, I think it's much more compelling. And we could potentially raise even more money.
Mhm.
And so whatever we choose, we need to make sure we have enough time to ask that individual to come
Yes.
and speak. That's all I've got. I'm sorry. I just.
All right, we have, Brian's not here. Charles not here. Foundation, all is good. And Kristen actually was here a little earlier, but she had to bug out, go to class. Kendra's here. Kendra, do you have anything on programs?
Nothing new, but I'm excited to hear from Megan today for Girls on the Run. I also have and I don't know if I pronounce her last name right, but Kari Hufty for Backstage Foundation. I believe she's next week. And then we have Lance coming up too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all's good.
Okay. Deb,
Would you be willing to hear from the organization that does the organ donor? That if you're an organ donor on your driver's license?
Kendra, would you agree with that? She's asking if we'd be willing to hear a presentation from the organization that does organ donors, or organizes organ donors to our driver's license.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
I'll reach out to them and connect.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Do we have any image stuff, Mr. Rand?
Just several things going on I've already reported on. For the foundation dinner, I actually registered for that up in Bellingham on the 18th.
Right.
So anybody who'd like to ride with me, you're welcome to, if you're going.
Okay.
Our district governor is coming next month, and it's my job in this club to promote Singapore. So is anybody going to Singapore in May for the Rotary International Convention? Does anybody want to go?
What? Yeah.
If anybody asks, I have hereby promoted Singapore to this club. Okay, I want that reported to the DG. When he comes
Singapore.
I'll record that in the minutes.
My wife and I are gonna try and go to Singapore. We're gonna do a 2-week layover in Taiwan, where my wife is from. And then on to Singapore. So if anybody wants to join, we can make it a party.
All right.
We have 40 people from the district so far registered too.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be a,
Considering plane tickets are like 3,500 a piece. Just for your plane ticket. So it's a chunk.
that's one of the farthest places you can fly to from here. Singapore. Yeah,
But last year was Melbourne. I'm not sure that was much better. That's a long flight.
that's a little further, yeah. Yeah.
But then it comes back to North America. I think the following year, I think it's coming back to our continent.
Singapore seems like it'd be a real interesting place to go.
So my wife has been there and she says it's the Dubai of Asia. It is gorgeous and it is clean and English is the primary language.
Mhm.
And it's a very well off civil society. So
I've been there twice. I haven't been to Dubai, but from what I hear about Dubai, it's more of a like made up, city where Singapore has much more of a natural feel.
Right.
Beautiful, clean, do not litter, they will throw you in jail.
good. Yeah, wish we had.
Yeah, and then dump all the litter that's picked up in the same cell. Here, you live with us for a few weeks. All right, well, thank you. All right, I'm going to ask if, Chris, would you like to be Sergeant at Arms
Yeah.
for the,
Yes, I have.
and from the sake of time, I suggest that, we do the Happy Bucks only and,
Okay,
and,
we'll do the raffle
then
first.
do the raffle, yeah.
But it's not a raffle, when they come to me, so, what you call it earlier, it was a giveaway.
It's a door prize giveaway.
I'm gonna sleep so much better at night knowing that the state has protected me from our raffle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel so much safer.
you're not gonna lose your wealth, you know.
Okay, so we have the duck thing, and as Don's alluded to, that this is the last of the last of the last. And so hopefully whoever gets it, maybe we'll donate it back to the club. But that's up to you guys.
Yeah,
So I will have you pick a duck out.
Not a dime.
no, chicken.
Chicken. On the
Oh, you're
$5.
really-
She picks the fiver. What's it?
No, we gotta pick the ticket.
Okay, well, we.
She can pick the ticket.
And you wanna be my sewer machine.
It's all downhill from here.
Oh, can you read it?
Not your glasses, but my glasses. Do you wanna read this?
Sure, I can.
This is the last 6.
165689.
That's me.
6.
Okay.
I didn't get a chance to look at my. She's like, that's me. Then I'm wearing my glasses.
Okay.
Eileen, she could take us all out.
Right? Drinks run.
Sure.
Okay. $5 is gonna get a whole other drink. So if I buy, you might get, you might get truffle popcorn on happy hour.
I think that's it. You okay with it?
Yeah.
Oh, and
I've got a clicker, but I have to plug something. Plug that
I
in.
can go simple.
Yeah.
It's great.
Get together.
Okay.
As happy as.
Well, if you can fit us in your schedule.
Okay, so for you do have time, how much time do you
Knew
need?
that was coming.
Much as you can get.
I could shorten our license.
Okay, so let's do Happy Bucks, so why are we happy today?
I'm happy that Joyce is with me. You guys, she is stubborn. I told her, don't climb those stairs without me. So I'm parking my car and I turn around, she's halfway up 9 cement stairs. I'm like, Joyce, what are you doing? It's like, I'm just excited to get going. Oh.
Figure, yeah.
And we're going out to breakfast afterwards too. So if anybody wants to join us.
Where are you going?
Buzz in.
Okay.
Okay, Joyce, why are you happy? Because you made it up the stairs?
Being here, and I'm particularly happy that she picked me up, and she is such a nice, wonderful person. My house flooded, the washing machine thing ran over, and anyway, I had to move out of my house, so I'm living next door. And it's a wonderful place, and I'm really lucky. Yeah.
It's inconvenient.
Yeah.
When will it be done?
They said 2 or 3 months. Like, wow, they're gonna have to
Sheet
take
rock.
up all of the floors
Flooring.
there.
Oh, my word. Wow. Okay. Well, good luck with that.
Everything.
Don, you want to put something in here? Are you happy today?
Well, there's a lot to not be happy about these days, I'll tell you that, but
for sure.
I'm just happy that we're getting a couple of days of sunshine.
Yes.
I really enjoyed yesterday, had a fire out on the backyard with the neighbors. The smoke went straight up. Wow. The stars were incredible and,
Overlooking the new dock.
the new dock, yeah.
Oh,
Awesome. We'll go, you don't have.
I don't
I don't
know
either.
by now. I've been to enough rotaries, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Okay, we're happy you're here too.
Yeah. It's beautiful. You know, last week, but it was very important.
I'm happy to be here. I went to the Chambers luncheon where they had a lot of the people running for office. Don't ask Chris about the free beats, please. Please do not ask him at all.
I get the bell.
And then we did have a good turnout at the fireside. We had 16 or so people and it was a fun event. And we were in the back room all by ourselves and they did a great job. And Kelsey and her husband Robert joined us later in the evening. Kelsey was promised to be here again today for her, but we'll get her here. That's it.
Okay, awesome.
Happy it's Friday. Happy to be here.
I'm happy I got to see you the other day, and watch some football. So,
I'm happy to be here, but I gotta tell you that I just watched Lauren pull an inch thick stack of $100 bills out of his wallet. And he just tipped it down for the $1 bill for your camp, just saying. Just saying. I'm just happy.
Bigger day.
A bigger day, okay.
Okay, why are we happy today?
All right, well, I'm happy to see Joyce, because I think this is the first time I've been back at the meeting and she's been back too, and I was just thinking about her this morning. So very happy to see you, happy to see the sunshine on Friday. And I'm happy I won $5 so that I have cash to put in.
Paying it forward, right? I am so happy it's Friday. I am happy to be back in this club and so happy that we're making progress on Forks and Caves and just love you guys. Like I was pretty straightforward. Love you. Oh, and I'm super excited for the food bank and the great event that they had, the great weekend, and what a success it was.
I'm just kidding. Happy to be here. Good to see you, Joyce. Yeah, thank you all that came to our Empty Bowls event. It was almost $49,000 that we raised.
Wow.
So, yeah, thank you all for your support. Yeah, I think it's great. Eileen said you have suggestions, so we'll see how that goes after she gets. I'm just kidding. I like suggestions.
Hey.
And if you are thinking of Christmas gifts, the food bank will be putting out some of the bowls later on this, I don't know when you're gonna do that, but that was one of the things that the board talked about the other night, so.
Yeah, we're gonna do a selfies with Santa, so it's gonna be, I know there's many other Santa pictures of like Stevens, but we're gonna do a one-day event, we're gonna put out some of the bowls, we have like 400 left. And come and get some free Santa pictures, we're donating for. Well, there's only one Santa.
Okay, well, I was down to my last dollar, no dollars, but quarters. I got 40. I used my last buck last night at the Muse Coffee and Whiskey Bar, literally pulled to pay the bill. So just happy to be here. I did bring, I want to explain a little bit about this basket for the auction behind me. I know you'll read the description, but these are items that have come back with me from Bali. And I'm figuring out the value because of course, you know, they cost you more here than they would there. But there is a small nonprofit there that does extra virgin coconut oil products and other natural products like turmeric and cloves and soaps. And it's a young man who started the business and he trains usually young women that are clerks there. So it's basically like kind of a nonprofit. He pays for their education, pays them all the way through their education, like a scholarship. And then they take a certain amount of their proceeds and they actually during COVID, and I think they're probably continuing to do it, give food like bags of rice to the villagers who like don't have sources of income. So buying these products not only helps our club, but it helps them because we'll continue to be an outlet for them. So what makes extra virgin coconut oil, you might wonder, that you wonder about olive oil, I know you stay awake at night wondering about this, is it's not, it has no chemical process. It's an all natural pressing and like then letting it set in a process that keeps it extra virgin. So there's no chemicals in any of these products. I think that's all I'm gonna say, but thank you. I probably should give you my other coin.
Your other wallet.
All
I'll
right.
go to the store and get money from the till. later.
And that'll be off. How about you, Zoomer? James Monroe.
Good morning, everybody.
Pretty.
I'm happy to see all of you and especially Joyce. Good to see you, Joyce.
Be careful while you're driving. Larry,
Yes,
are you happy today?
well, I'm happy. I remembered to send a Happy Bucks check by
Good.
Venmo this week to the club. Nice to see Joyce there. That's happy.
Marvelous. Marvelous. How about Kendra?
It's hard to see her behind the mask, but
Yeah. We know.
yeah.
How about Kendra?
Oh, I'm happy to be back home in my own bed. We just got back from a, oops, sorry, from a long vacation that was like a surprise for my kids to Disneyland and stuff. So we pulled off the surprise despite me talking about it accidentally all the time in front of them. And but glad to be home.
Nice. That would be fun. And Jack, how about you? Are you happy today?
Yeah, sure. I don't want to hear the speaker.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's it. Did I miss anybody? Myself.
Thanks, Chris.
You staying? No. Are you going to? No.
Yeah.
Okay, take it away, Don.
All right, thank you. Okay. Again, you're,
All right, well, thank you.
you bet.
Thanks for having me.
You got-
Okay, cool.
Well,
I know some of you. I'm Megan Wolf. I'm the executive director at Girls on the Run of Snohomish County, and I'm very happy to speak with you today. I have talked to a lot of Rotaries around our region, and you guys are, I really like your feel here. Not all of them have this cool, casual, friendly feel, and I love it. So I am here to tell you what Girls on the Run is all about. One of my favorite topics, so if I am running long, Eileen, I got you. Yeah.
we took a little longer on Happy
No.
Bucks, so you take your time.
No worries. So our mission is to inspire girls and gender expansive youth to be joyful, healthy, and confident. Who doesn't want to do that, right? We're inspiring the next generation of kiddos. We're doing it through a program that combines physical health, mental health, emotional health, and social health. And if you think about the last couple of years, man, these kids need this now more than ever. So we have 6 core values that really drive us at Girls on the Run. I'm not going to go through all of them. But one I'm trying to lean into this year for myself is to nurture my physical, spiritual, and emotional health while doing nonprofit work, because nonprofit work drains you, as a lot of you know. We really hold these to, we really build our program and who we are as an organization around these core values. And so I know a lot of organizations have core values that, you know, are written on a piece of paper, but we really live these. And one that we've really focused on over the last couple of years is being really intentional in our decision making and understanding how our choices about how we recruit volunteers, where we have our program, which kiddos we are able to invite into our program really impacts our community in a different way. So we have power over that, and we really think through all our decisions based on that. So we have 3 basic programs that we do every year. So we have an after-school program that is every spring, and we have our elementary age program, which is our Girls on the Run program. We have a curriculum specifically built, we have multiple curriculums specifically built for elementary age students. So it's built for grades 3 through 5, but we're in 8 different school districts. So a couple of our school districts, 6th grade still in the elementary schools like Edmonds and Snohomish. So those 6th graders can be part of that program since they're in the same school. And then we have a middle school program called Heart and Soul that is very specifically designed for the needs of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, which you can imagine is a little bit different than what a 3rd grader is going through. So we give them a little bit more leadership. We give them a little more say over how the conversation works on a day-to-day basis. And it's just really designed to give them those tools. And then we do a summer camp, and our summer camp is a day camp over the summer for kids heading into 3rd through 5th grade. So it's our younger crowd. So we have kids as young as 7 in there, and then up through about 11. So all our programs are mixed age group. Our after school program works where at schools and community sites, small teams, so up to 15 to 20 kids and 3 volunteers meet twice a week after school for an hour and a half. Every day they get a healthy snack, they get a lesson. So from our curriculum, we have a really robust curriculum, and the lesson might be around peer pressure and how to deal with peer pressure. And so we'll work through tools to give these kids an opportunity to practice. If they're being pressured to do something, how can they respond in a healthy way? So we play active games. There's a lot of good research that shows that if kids are learning the social emotional lessons with physical activity, combined with that physical activity, the lessons stick better and they stick around longer. So kids actually remember them longer if those things are combined, which is really fun. So our day lesson, like an hour and a half, might be a couple minutes really connecting with each other, seeing how the day went, those check-ins, sort of that happy bucks idea of like they're having their snack, how was your day, how was that math test, how's your cat doing, those connection pieces, so important for these kids. And then we move into the lesson, and then they might play a game, like a tag game or a relay race type game that is all themed around the lesson of the day. And then we do laps. The running at our program is non-competitive. We want kids to learn that they do not have to be part of a competitive team. They don't have to join a sports team to make healthy choices about their physical health. So every day when they run, they get to choose their own lap goal. So they run small laps because these kids get distracted very easily. So if the lap's a little too long, you have a lot of flower picking and different things like that. So we keep it pretty short so the kids can also feel that sense of accomplishment. We get kids that walk the whole time. We get kids that one day might want to run really hard because they just feel like running. And then the next day, their lap goal might be a little bit lower because their friend had a tough day and they just want to walk in and talk with their friend and make sure their friend's okay. And it's really important to us that the kids in our program really understand that both of those are really healthy choices. So our volunteer coaches are, some of them are hardcore runners. And sometimes they're like, our kids aren't running that much. We're like, yeah, it's fine. And then we get people who are like, I don't run at all and I never will. Can I still help? And we're like, yes, that's great, because there's so many ways to be healthy. So our girls really need to see that. Our camp doesn't have quite as much running because it's 1 week, so they're every day, but we still play a lot of active games at camp. That physical piece is important. So the small teams are meeting just at their local school, so they get to know each other really well. It's a very safe space. We really prioritize inclusion and belonging. If there's any adaptations needed for any of the kids, say there's a kid that has mobility issues, we will make sure they have, that whole team has a space to run that works for that kid. So they're fully included. They're not like, oh, well, you can go do it over here. It's really important we make it work for everyone, so they're really a team. And then at the end of our season, we all come together for our big 5K event. So this spring, we'll have over 800 kiddos in 60 sites throughout Snohomish County. And so they all have their little teams. And then they come to the 5K and we'll have about 2,000 people there. And it's just mind blowing to a lot of them how crazy and big that is. And our 5K event isn't a race. It's all about celebrating their accomplishment. They've worked hard for this. It's that long-term goal setting that they've been working to do a 5K. A lot of them will still walk the whole way, and that's great. We have music, a lot of kids in tutus and capes and crazy socks, and they all wear the bib #1 and they all get a finisher's medal. So the 5K is also open to community members, so anyone can sign up and run it. It's a great family-friendly one. And all our kids run with an adult because that keeps them safe. So we want to make sure we know how many kids started and how many kids finished, because it's really stressful to have that many kids out running. But I think I've gotten a little bit ahead of myself. So some of the things that have set the Girls in the Run program apart is that combination of the social emotional learning combined with the physical activity. And so we're one of the only after school programs that is really strong in that area. There's great after school sports that throw in a little bit of the social emotional learning, and there's programs like Girl Scouts we love. They're doing so much of the great lessons around social emotional learning, and they're doing it in different ways. And you know, if you think of all the negative messages our kids get, they need that positive message in a lot of different ways too. And so we love when our kids do our program and they're in Girl Scouts and they're going to Boys and Girls Club, because all of those really benefit our kids. Recently, the Surgeon General of the United States, Dr. Murphy, highlighted that Girls in the Run is doing this work really well. And that felt really good. So very exciting. All the research around the Girls in the Run curriculum really shows that these lessons really stick for the kids and they stick around years after they've done the program. So we have kids that do our program one time, one spring, and then they go off and do other things. We have kids that come back year after year. We have kids that do our after school program and our camp because they just love it so much. And all of that is good. It's designed where you could do it once. We do know that doing it more than once highlights those messages even more, and our curriculum changes each year a little bit. And so they get slightly different things each year. And you know, what you're dealing with in third grade changes by fifth grade. And so you're going to approach all the lessons differently too. So Girls on the Run is a national program. It is in all 50 states and in Canada. But how it works is we are an individual nonprofit here in Snohomish County. So our council just delivers the Girls on the Run program throughout Snohomish County. Right now we have 8 different school districts that are in our fold. There are 13 in the county. Some of those are very tiny. So we haven't expanded east too far past Highway 9. We are hoping to we have some interest in Sultan and Monroe, so hoping to grab those in, and Arlington, but we do go all the way up to Stanwood. So we're from Edmonds to Stanwood. Yeah, so what we love about this national movement is that we get to deliver it for our local community here. Our staff, our fundraising, our board everything is local to Snohomish County. And we really like that around here because there's so many regional programs that are very King County focused. And so we can come in and just be Snohomish County. But we get to be part of this collective effort. So over 2 million kids have been through this program, and that feels really cool that we're contributing to that. And we've served over 3,200 kids since 2015 when we started, which would have been higher without the pandemic. That really hit us hard as an after-school program. But it's really fun to have other councils to share ideas with, and there's a lot of this, we all are in this to serve the kids, and so there's not like a competitive side. So there is a program down in King County, and there's one that covers Kitsap and Pierce County. And me and the 2 executive directors of those, we work really closely together and share ideas and just make sure we're serving our communities the best we can. So last year we served about 600 kiddos through our after school program, and then almost 100 in camp over the summer. That's not quite bigger than in 2019 pre-pandemic. We had 725 that year, so we're almost there. I was really hoping last year we would be back bigger than that, but post-pandemic, recruiting volunteers has gotten a lot harder. We rely heavily on school staff, so we have a lot of teachers, paraeducators. We have one school janitor that has coached with us for almost 6 years because she knows all the kids, and it's such a fun way for her to interact, and it's been fantastic. And then we get parents who volunteer, and we get community members who don't have kids that want to do something to serve kids, and so then they volunteer. But that's definitely been a challenge post-pandemic because teachers are really burnt out right now. Really burnt out right now. So we have teachers that were involved with us pre-pandemic that love the program because they get something out of it. Teaching is hard right now, and so then they get to come to Girls on the Run and they love it, and it's something they know. But bringing new people in right now is a little bit hard. So that limits our growth because we need the volunteers. But we do provide really in-depth training to our volunteers. Every volunteer goes through some online training they can do at their own pace, then we do an in-person one. But they do trainings around creating trauma-sensitive spaces, understanding signs of abuse and recognizing that, really how to adapt lessons and be inclusive from top to bottom for your team. And so for anyone that is interested in working with kids, it's a great professional development opportunity too. And we provide a lot of support. Our coaches provide the energy and the time, but we give them everything else. So they get gift cards to buy fresh snacks. We could just give them bins of granola bars, but we want them to be getting fresh fruit and string cheese and those healthy snacks for our kids throughout the season. So we provide a lot of financial assistance for kids to participate in our program. As you guys all see, when you go to the grocery store, all our bills are going up, right? And so all the supplies we provide for our program, the costs have gone up. But we also understand that a lot of our families can't necessarily pay the registration fee. So how we are funded is really a pretty diverse funding stream. So we should be about 25% in program revenue. Last few years, it's been more closer to 15% because so many of our families have needed financial assistance to participate, and we're happy to do that. It's just not necessarily sustainable. So we're trying to grow that portion. But then we get grants, sponsorships, individual donations. We have a fundraising event that fill in that pie. so that 50 to 60% of our kids get financial aid. And the kids that get the highest level of financial aid also get running shoes from us. So last year we gave out 315 pairs of running shoes to our community that we either purchase or get donated. And we really like them to be high quality running shoes so the kids have a good positive experience. Brooks Outlet, if you are a running person or like comfy shoes to walk around in, Brooks Outlet has been a huge partner to us where they give us brand new running shoes at $15, which is fantastic. So over the years, they've given us hundreds of pairs of shoes at a huge discount. So I highly recommend it. Yeah, this year we'll have over 200 of our volunteer coaches leading the teams. It's really inspiring what they do. And we have a really high return rate for our volunteers. We take it really seriously that we want them to have a really positive experience too. We want them to come back year after year. And so for a lot of people, we kind of joke, once you're involved, you're never going to leave because you're going to get involved in all sorts of ways. And it's really uplifting to us when we hear those stories. 5K this year. Last year we had over 1,100 participants. It was a huge day. We were in a space that was too small for the size we were. So we're growing this year. I'm currently working on a partnership with the city of Mill Creek and the Chamber of Commerce there to host our big 5K event in the middle of Mill Creek Town Center. So we'll close down Main Street and run there. Should be awesome. We picked Mill Creek because it's centrally located since we serve the whole county. We've done Everett before and out in Snohomish at Willis Tucker Park. And last year we were in Mill Creek and all our people from like all the way out in Stanwood were like, oh, that was easy to get to. That was great. But we're always looking for other places to do 5K. So if anyone has ideas, parking is what limits us a lot, is how much parking we need to have that many people come. But it's really a quick event. If you think of a 5K, even if you're walking it, it might take an hour. I don't think we've ever had it take longer than an hour and 15 minutes for all our kiddos to finish. And so we do a big fun zone where the kids are getting their face painted, they're getting crazy stuff done with their hair, they can bling their bib, they can write down little notes to thank their coaches. It's really fun. We have this great painted photo thing where they can get their photo with a unicorn. So we really make it fun. We try to have live music and stuff. And it's just, if you can come out on 5K day, it's going to be Sunday, June 9th this year. It's a great one-day volunteer opportunity. We need a lot of volunteers to keep our kiddos safe, make sure it runs smoothly, but it's also just a great event to be at. It's so uplifting, and watching the finish, we have so many families that have never participated in an event like this, which is communication challenges leading into the event. But you know, watching these kids finish, watching parents who never thought they'd run a 5K finish with their kid, it's really inspiring. And it just, yeah, it really fills you up. So part of our curriculum is that every team does a community service project. So throughout the curriculum, the early part of the curriculum sort of focus on the individual. We're building self-confidence. We're talking about turning negative self-talk into positive self-talk, all those things that the girls can hold inside of them and be like, oh, I'm awesome. I should know that all the time. And then we go into the peer-to-peer, the friendship issues, the peer pressure, gossiping, all those things the kids are dealing with. And then the last part of our curriculum leading into the 5K is really about community. What communities are we a part of? How do you work as a team and collaborate and compromise? And so then our kids pick a community service project to do. It's a small bite-sized one. It has to happen during one of their practices. So we get kids who are like, we are going to change the world. Let's go do all these huge things. And we're like, we want that, hold on to that energy, but it needs to be bite-sized for this. You get a lot of projects for paws. Animals are a huge thing for this age group. They make blankets and toys, and they might get their school involved and have them donate food or toys or something they can take. We've had care packages go to troops overseas. We've had hygiene packs made for people living without homes. All sorts of things, lots of teacher appreciation, staff appreciation at the school. We use the school fields a lot, and so there's school cleanups. So they'll do weeding and make sure the paths are nice and the playground's in good shape, something that they can give back to their community. And what's really cool about this is it sort of slingshots some of the kids into bigger projects. So we've had kids do a mini project and then go home and be like, hey, now I have this bigger idea. And they've done whole school-wide projects the next year after this, which is really cool. So this year, we're looking to serve over 800 kids this spring. right now we are working on all that outreach. So getting schools signed up, getting schools saying, yes, we want this at our school. Pre-pandemic, we were super strong here in Lake Stevens. We had 2 teams at Sunnyside, 3 teams at Hillside. We were expanding. We have Mount Pilchuck. We really were very strong here. We had a great community base. And since COVID, it has been a really hard district to get back up and running. So we have maintained Mount Pilchuck. They've been strong the whole time, but we are really hoping to connect and build our Lake Stevens program back up this year. And you know, that happened in various places around with COVID. A lot of the people we built relationships moved to different schools, moved out of the area. We know how COVID shifted a lot of people around. So a lot of our key contacts, we're just having to build new relationships. But if anyone has any connections to any schools in Lake Stevens that you think would be interested in our program, connect them with us or let me know, because we're working on that now. It takes a long time to get schools to commit to things. They've got a lot on their plate, but really we just need a principal to open the door. Counselors get really excited about this. Family advocates get really excited about this. Most of the time it's a teacher at the school or a parent that has heard about the program saying, hey, this would be so cool for our community. And then we come in and we give them all the information and it goes from there. So just someone to light that spark. We're also working with our board to kind of create now that we are this far past COVID closures, to really start, we've been in survival mode the last few years. And so for the first time, we're really starting to look at what does our long-term growth look like? We can actually start setting those goals again. So that's one of our big focuses this year. So ways to help change the world through inspiring girls. Next year, we've already planned our big sneaker soiree. We just had it a couple weeks ago. That's our fundraising gala where you get to wear cocktail attire and fun tennis shoes. I have sparkly tennis shoes I wear every year. And every year we have people are like, you really get to wear tennis shoes to this? Yes, you get to wear tennis shoes. It's the most comfortable event. So next year it'll be on October 5th. We're always looking for more business sponsors. We have a lot of our best sponsors that come back year after year are locally owned businesses. They're not the big corporations. They're the local real estate agents, the home repair companies. We have a lot of folks that get in once and then they go to that 5K and they keep coming back, which is great. That helps us a lot. We're always looking for volunteers. 5K is a great one because you can have a booth there. So if you have a business that's 2,000 people from around the Snohomish County, they're local people at that event and they're usually pretty pumped up. So our soulmate program is where you train for an event and you fundraise for Girls on the Run. That one has really fallen flat post-COVID. People don't seem to want to be training for events. Hopefully we'll build that one back. We're always looking to build partnerships. I am super passionate about, especially knowing the population we serve, what other resources in our community should our families know about? Are there ways that we can make sure that they're getting the information, that food banks available, that there's other services out there? So at our 5K last year, we had a community zone where we had Cocoon House was there talking about what they do. League of Women Voters was there doing a mock vote on favorite ice cream flavors, just to teach kids about that. And so what can we pull in that benefits our families, but also can support other organizations in our community? I think that's a really great thing. One of the best ways we grow both our fundraising and our program reach is just by people sharing that they know about us, by people inviting their friends to stuff or sharing on social media. That word of mouth is hugely beneficial with a nonprofit that has very little marketing budget. So yeah, so our program is full of stories like this. So post-COVID, we had a parent tell us that doing our program really helped her daughter get off antidepressants and kind of feel like she was herself again. This last year, we had a parent whose daughter had done the program the year before and had gotten a lot out of it. So the parent decided to coach this year because she wanted to be more involved. And her daughter had gone through cancer as a toddler and had always struggled to talk about it. And through doing our program, her daughter now not only shares her story of her cancer journey, but she has a fake eye due to her cancer. And she'd always covered it. She'd always kept it really hidden. She didn't want to talk about it. And starting middle school this year, her one ask was to get some fun eyes. So it makes it really obvious. And then she shares her story. And just the confidence boost she got, those are the stories that really keep us going. So we love this program. Any questions? I talk fast.
Well, more of a comment. It's too bad some of our teachers aren't here today, because ironically, we're in education headquarters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know,
we
yeah.
do have a couple teachers that, or more than a couple teachers that, we'll have to mention this too.
Share with them.
That'd be
Well,
really nice.
The Lake Stevens, when we were first starting, because I actually started the council here in Snohomish County, and the different school districts work very differently. Lake Stevens, the first meeting I had, they're like, okay, here's our facility person, here's our marketing person, here's everyone you need to know, let's open doors for you, who do you need us to connect you with? That does not happen everywhere, so I was so impressed with the district here, just their whole attitude. You get people that in this world that really feel like they're protecting their teachers by saying no to things, but really, it's the door openers, the people that understand that like a school can say no if they're not ready for it. But by opening that door, they give opportunities that wouldn't be there otherwise.
So you're, like all around Snohomish County and not just locally. So have you made connections with the Lakewood School District by Arlington?
We have not gotten into Lakewood yet. So all the school districts have gotten information about our program, but not all of them have joined. We've had some interest up in that area by like a parent or this, but not quite enough to build the program yet.
I think there's a principal up there who might be interested.
Oh, awesome.
Just switch districts because she followed her principal. My daughter's a seventh grade school teacher, so.
Oh, awesome.
Sharing.
That would be great. Yeah. And that's how we got into Stanwood, was we had a longtime teacher coach from Marysville. She moved up there for a job, and she just first day on the job, she told her principal, she's like, this program's amazing. I will start it. You can't say no. We're gonna do it. We're like, yes, let's do it.
Do you have posters or anything a business can put up?
We do. So I did a big networking event the other day, and I realized last night that my box is at my office and I don't have anything today. I have cards, but I'm always happy to come out and bring stuff. And yeah, especially for the 5K, we print stuff, but a how to bring the program to your community type flyer we could definitely get you. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Nate. And in appreciation of our speakers, we do make a regular donation to the Dollar Party Imagine.
Oh, I love that program. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
thank you very much. Okay. Let's call it a meeting.
There should be fine for a meeting.
I know. I always mind.
This is the catering contract.
This is the catering contract for roofs. I'm sure the big